everyone. I'm here with Dr. Melvin Nario. As you know, Dr. Nario is with Biointegrative Health Center in Reno, Nevada. You can check them out online if you want to know more about what they do. So thanks for being with us, Doctor.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Let's talk about Hashimoto's. What is it?
Pretty good question. I get that a lot. People think it's Ajinomoto, the MSG product, or it's a type of Japanese car, but it's really not. It's Hashimoto's disease. It's an autoimmune disorder affecting the thyroid gland, first described by the Japanese physician Hikaru Hashimoto. So that was in the 1912s. And it is actually involving the thyroid gland, which is the one on your neck. It's like butterfly shape, and it's below the Adam's apple. The thyroid produces hormones that regulate many functions in the body, especially metabolism. Illness, of course, is described with Hashimoto's as the immune system attacking healthy thyroid hormones, thyroid hormone producing cells, and leading to its death. So the disease usually results in the decline in hormone production, which is called hypothyroidism. That's why I give patients a good analogy of this with like little Pac-Men eating your thyroid up slowly, and those Pac-Men are your immune cells. Anyone can develop Hashimoto's disease. It's the most common among middle-aged women around 30 to 50, also known as Hashimoto's thyroiditis, chronic lymphocytic thyroiditis, and even chronic autoimmune thyroiditis.
Okay, so what are the symptoms and how would somebody know? Do they actually get diagnosed with this?
Yes, Steve. So it's something that you should ask your doctor to request for. These are antibodies. Antibodies are actually tested in the blood, and they're called TPO, antithyroid peroxidase antibody, and also thyroglobulin, antithyroglobulin antibodies. So TPO antibodies, immune proteins identifying that this is actually trying to remove foreign materials or antigens or even foreign invaders in the body. And also thyroglobulin antibody is an immune antibody that synthesizes T4 and T3 hormones. The point here is when you see these elevated in your blood, it's actually showing you inappropriate attacking of the immune system against your thyroid. And symptoms can be always starting as hyperthyroid. Why is that? Why is hyperthyroid mixed with hypothyroid? Because hyperthyroid is the initial attack of the Pac-Man on your thyroid, meaning it's almost like an orange that you're trying to squeeze. So as you squeeze the orange, you will see juice coming out. And that's why this thyroid hormone juice will now get into your blood and now will manifest as hyperthyroid, palpitations, rapid heartbeats, high blood pressure, shaking hands. But that will only last for a certain period of time. Eventually, you will end up to be hypothyroid permanently. And this is when you now become fatigued, weight gain, increased cholesterol, constipation, hair loss, and even for women, menstrual irregularities.
Wow. So I know you treat this. I'm pretty sure you treat this. So how do you treat it? You treat it with medications, you treat it with diet, you treat it with natural supplements or a combination. How do you usually treat it?
Well, Steve, there are two ways on how to treat it and two ways to look at it. One is the conventional way. When you go to your endocrinologist or your GP, they will probably request for those lab tests. And if they don't see any abnormal, like low thyroid hormones, but high antibodies, they might just say, hey, let's observe. Or if you turn into a hypothyroid finding on the panel, now they would say, here's levothyroxine or Synthroid, which are synthetic forms of thyroid replacement. But on our end, if you see an integrative practitioner, we approach high antibodies in a different sense. When we see that, we always play preventative because in the future, these antibodies will eat your thyroid up. And that's why we act even before things go crazy. So that's why we have three pillars in how we treat this: the immune system, the GI tract, and the actual thyroid gland. So for the GI tract, we always think about what we call leaky gut. That's why we want to avoid dairy and gluten immediately. Well, this is a suggestion already that I do with any autoimmune condition. And we also do gut repair programs for our patients. We do food allergy testing and even stool testing. And also for the immune system, we need to find why is your immune system attacking your thyroid gland. And most of the time, these little Pac-Men are stimulated by different specific sources like heavy metals, chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, which we test for. And also, when we think about the immune system, we put patients on naltrexone. So I think we had a different session for that, and viewers can look at it. And also Moducare. It's a plant sterolins that we use to modulate the immune system. And lastly, of course, the thyroid, the affected organ. If it's synthetic that we need, and I have patients who use synthetic thyroid hormones and they still work. But if they don't, we also use what we call natural or desiccated porcine thyroid, and has seen and said to be more effective than synthetic.
All right, that's great information. Hey, if you guys have questions, put them in the comment section. I'll make sure Dr. Nario gets it, and we try to address that question and give you an answer. So put those questions in the comment section. And if you guys want to reach out to me, you can get me go find out more about me at stevemain.com, health clubs that I own, and so on. So we appreciate your wisdom as always, Dr. Nario. That's Dr. Nario, Biointegrative Health Center in Reno, Nevada. You can find them online. Thanks for being with us, Doctor.
Well, Steve, thank you again for having me. As we all know that knowledge is power, and thank you for letting me provide you with edge in longevity and health maintenance, which I call the biological edge or the bio edge.